Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing awesome. Um, all right, I'm going to talk about two really important things tonight. I really hope you guys watch this video, pay attention. You can listen to it, times 2 speed or times 1.5 speed, because it might be a little long, but this video and this week's challenge is going to be really important because next week we are going to actually start diving a lot deeper into some deep scientific and spiritual, I can't think of the word, topics, basically. That's not the word I was looking for. But it's going to kind of, it's definitely going to get deeper, all right? Next week, we'll really be talking about the number 7. There are, 7 chakras, 7 notes in a scale, 7 vibrations above neutrality, 7 sins, 7 virtues. So we're really going to be looking into the actual energies and vibrations in this world, how it's affecting this world, why we are here and waking up at this time. It's really going to shine some light into maybe why certain manifestations that you're trying to manifest are blocked in your life. It's also really going to look into your life path, if you chose to come here in service to self or service to others, and how that will affect you moving forward. We will start really working on opening the chakras in the coming weeks, and a lot of really deep things, looking into core wounds, more shadow work and manifesting, reality shifting, really tuning into our own intuition. And so this week I want to give you guys some stuff to really focus on, because it's important as we are going into this stuff to first off know how to protect yourself, really be guarding your thoughts so that you know what you're opening yourself up to. Because the more you open yourself up to the 4D, if you have a lot of fear, shame, or guilt, it can start to be exacerbated. It will affect what you see, the kind of experience that you have, okay? And I know, a lot of us, like a lot of people sign up for this course, 1, to either work on their own spiritual gifts, or 2, to be able to manifest, to be able to gain back their power and feel more control in their life. So what we're going to be going into, it really will help you see why maybe there's certain toxic cycles, why certain things that you want aren't coming. And also, I know a lot of us in here are empaths and light workers. We're going to look into what it means to be a light worker and an empath, and why sometimes, I know we've talked a lot in this class, especially about how, we feel other people's emotions. Well, this week, I'm going to give you guys some tips, but it's very important that we focus on this, because when you are an empath, not only do you feel other people's emotions and it can knock you out of whack, or you can just start to mirror back on them, who they really are, rather than helping to transmute that energy. But feeling other people's emotions really impacts our manifestations if we're not able to observe. And also, as an empath, other people's beliefs about us, if we do not get a handle on that, they start to really manifest on our life. Because empaths and light workers, we are a sponge, okay? We are very porous, for lack of a better term. We soak in energy. And there's a part of it, we are strong enough and loving enough to transmute pain for others, okay? So we learn, and then we end up helping others. Or, I even know just anytime I'm doing a reading or teaching a class, I end up facing a lot of stuff and having to transmute. And a lot of times I'll have a reading scheduled and I'll go through something, or I'll feel all this emotional energy, and I have to process it and get to the core. And then I find out, oh my gosh, that wasn't even mine. I went through that because I have this, I start doing the reading and I realize it was their energy all along, but I had personalized it because, sometimes it feels very real to us. So it's important. This stuff that I'm going to talk about tonight is important, and it will also help kind of lay a groundwork for the stuff we're going to be going into, okay? And it also really helps to help you navigate your spiritual path, okay? Because there's a lot of information out there where it can either lead us to this place where we're majoring in the minors, or it maybe works for certain types of people, but it does not work for empaths and light workers, or it can be a kind of coming from the lower chakras, and it will get you into a toxic karmic cycle by trying to enact those spiritual practices depending on where you're coming from with it, okay? So the first thing I wanted to talk about, because this was brought up in chat and it seemed like you guys were interested, but about protecting our energy. Okay, so I just said we are like porous sponges, you know, like the kind you use to wash a car. So there are a lot of holes. And if we are not working on filling our own holes, sounds inappropriate, they're wide open for other people to come in and project stuff on us, or we project outwards and we want someone to fill those holes, so we kind of define them and hang on to them and become codependent on them or a circumstance. You know, I feel like for me, when I first started, I went through my dark night of the soul, I started waking up and I started reading tarot on Periscope, which is like a Twitter company, I guess, and there would be like 1,000 people in the room, and I would just pick one and do a reading. And it was actually really cool because it did help me kind of discern energies and really be able to like pick one person out. But I remember during that time, and it happened quite a bit actually, like one of the first videos I uploaded on YouTube, somebody said this too, but I had gone into another chat and was watching this guy, and he said to me, he said, "Do you know you're from the future?" And at that time I was like, wow, that's weird, you know. But I feel like in a lot of ways, you know, light workers, empaths, they do. I mean, time is actually, you know, in higher dimensions, there is no time. So it's not necessarily from the future, but it's from a higher perspective that we come down to Earth. And that's why it can feel so uncomfortable, why we can feel like we don't fit in. Oftentimes we experience certain traumas, and it does kind of help us understand empathy and separation, and really helps us have sympathy for other people because we've been there, so we don't want to be part of the problem. And yet we still come here with ego, with separation. But I feel like for empaths, one of the reasons it's so uncomfortable, and one of the reasons it's very easy for us to become codependent, we in our souls have a remembrance of oneness very clearly, you know. There is something amazing about coming down to this earth and being able to experience separation, be able to feel longing, feel how it feels to work really hard in order to achieve something, to overcome. Even, you know, unrequited love, we get to feel things deeply. But I think it's uncomfortable, okay, for empaths in a way, because we're used to oneness. So we kind of like, we feel everybody, so we kind of block people out. We can build up walls, and then we find one person that we are like, oh, that's the one that I feel like I can totally be myself with. Normally, they're a little bit of an empty vessel, or just very opposite from the empath. So there is an aspect where an empath will feel peaceful around that person because that person doesn't have all the emotions. You know, when an empath goes up to somebody with anxiety, we feel anxious, or if someone's nervous, we feel nervous. Well, when we come across like somebody maybe with not a lot of empathy, or even further on the negative side of the spectrum, a narcissist, or someone with sociopathic tendencies, it can feel peaceful because we don't feel, all we feel is the vibration of their like confidence and courage and power. We don't feel anything else. So it can feel very peaceful to us, okay? And then they mirror back who we are, and that feels wonderful. But you know, whenever we get fixated on a person, we want to go back to that oneness. And so it is very important. There's a few ways that we really have to protect ourselves, okay? Because as empaths, we not only are we loyal and we keep fighting for situations that maybe we shouldn't. Often empaths are brought up in homes where they're taught to people please. They're taught that other people's emotions are their problem. But then on top of that, we feel people's higher selves, okay? So we can feel their potential and we'll go based on that, even when they're not showing up in that way at all, and the reality looks very different. And there are some toxic teachings out there right now, like, oh, everyone is you pushed out, manifest, which truly ends up us just brainwashing ourselves and getting more and more confused because we're trying to control a situation, okay? And if you are a light worker and you are here in service to others, yes, we can set intention to have a specific person or a specific outcome. But there's also this huge aspect of, if you think about neutrality, there's no need to control in neutrality. Or acceptance, there's no need to control in acceptance. Unconditional love, there's no need to control in unconditional love. It's about being very receptive and very open to the things that you want coming into your life, but without controlling it. So often we want to manifest like a specific person, but that means we want to control them and make them into exactly what we want them to be. And one of the reasons that doesn't work for light workers is because, or empaths, is because we feel it. We don't want to win the battle. We want to win the war. We feel it when it doesn't line up with our soul. It's uncomfortable. And when we control, we feel the opposite. We feel that negative emotion of something's not right here, or the shame or the guilt or the fear of being abandoned or rejected or whatever that core wound is, okay? So all that to say, yes, as an empath or a light worker, we are porous sponges. And a lot of times that's because we are able to transmute that energy into something positive. There is something called Ho'oponopono. It was actually a doctor who, he looked at these people with severe psychiatric illnesses, and rather than treating them, he went through in himself, he started healing, even though he didn't have like schizophrenia or whatever. He would start to heal in himself the aspects that could relate to that, and he saw them healed without ever talking to them or prescribing them anything, okay? And a huge part of that is self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others, acceptance, accepting ourselves. But so just know, when you're feeling energy, you do have the power to transmute it, okay? But we also have the power to not get stuck in toxic negative energy cycles. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking about ways that you can protect your energy. Then I want to talk a little bit more about our thoughts. I've had a lot of just things that I really wanted to tell you come in. And I really hope that you guys listen to this and really think about it, because I think it's going to help prepare for the stuff coming up. Because we're even going to talk about our masculine and feminine sides a lot in the coming weeks too, and really integrate those in healthy ways. Okay, so the first way is spiritual protection. Okay, if you want to protect your energy, so you're not just this wide open sponge, so that you can either slow down the information coming in or block it at the times that it is not comfortable. One, daily intentions. When you wake up in the morning and you smile and you say, I am able to transmute negative energy, I am protected from negative energy. When you wake up, listen to your binaural beats and imagine a vortex swirling around you. And you can even put mirrors on the outside so that anything that comes towards you is reflected back. I do that if I know I'm under like psychic attack, like someone is deliberately thinking negative thoughts about me. I will do the mirror thing. You can also just block it. But I'm talking about intentions right now. So you set the intention. Today I am able to discern what I am feeling. I'm able to observe my emotions. I'm able to assign the definitions that will uplift me rather than weigh me down. I'm able to protect myself. And like I was saying, you can do the mirror thing. I definitely put protection around you. Sometimes you don't want to do the mirror thing because you don't want to be sending, if someone's sending pain or something your way, you don't just want to mirror it back to them. You want to be able to help in some way, transmute it, so you can set intention for that too, that it wouldn't come overwhelming, but that, you'd be able to have a conversation with someone that would encourage them, or that, before that energy even gets to you, that someone would come across and encourage them, or they would hear something. Like, set intention to be protected. I mean, so much of everything is our beliefs. And when we set intention, we see things happen. So, I mean, that even when you're just like thinking about someone and they call. Or, you start thinking, oh, I see repeating numbers a lot. And then you see them all the time. Like, when we set intention, it does happen. Another spiritual practice is keeping your chakras balanced. And we are going to go into this in the coming weeks. So if you're not familiar with chakras, that's okay. We are going to start working on that. But when we have like a block, let's say we have this big block in our solar plexus where we're not feeling good enough. Well, any negative energy sent our way is going to reinforce the fact that we don't feel good enough. So whether it's true or not, which it's not true, or even if that person isn't sending that towards us intentionally, we're going to feel it. We're going to feel that vibration and resonate with it. So it's really important to make sure that you are, really facing your beliefs about yourself. I was going to say one more thing about that. Oh, yeah. I mean, same with our sacral chakra. If we are trying to control a relationship, like with a masculine energy in a toxic way, or we're feeling super victimized, we're going to continue to draw that in. We're going to continue to resonate with it. That energy in us is going to be mirrored back towards us, so it's important to balance your chakras, balance your thoughts, which I'm going to be talking about in just a few minutes. Obviously, transmuting energy. One way you can do it, if you're feeling something, whether it's like thoughts in your head or you're feeling some, like an uncomfortable feeling in your stomach, you can pull this energy up to your heart space. That will help you kind of understand it a little more. Or if someone's even bringing angry energy towards you, rather than reacting, pull it down to your heart space and then put it through your arms and your legs. It actually gives you energy, but then detach, get away. You're not meant to just stay there and take it or anything. Meditation. If you can meditate 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the morning, before you go to bed at night for 15 minutes, it is the barometer on if you are able to observe your thoughts or not. It is the barometer on if you are grounded and also, connected to your higher self and able to just be at peace. It is a practice that is of the utmost importance if you want to be able to protect yourself from energy or transmute energy. Okay. Second, environmentally, you can protect your energy. You can just speak it out loud, like, all negative energy needs to leave, or any spirits need to leave. No, nothing is welcome into my home without my permission. And it might sound crazy, but being a medium, I have to do this a lot because people come for a visit and I'm like, I can't right now. But you can also burn sage. You would just, put it, light it. You can put it in a bowl. You want it to get pretty smoky, and you go throughout your house. Some people use a feather. I literally light it and I use my hand. Go under your sink, go in your closet, and push the energy towards an open door or window. Okay, it works, I'm telling you. Another one is to boil some water, put sea salt in it, and then put that pot in a room. It will, the thing is, our thoughts, emotions, other people's energy coming towards us, it is a thing. Like the same way a can is a thing, it's just, thinner. It's a different, makeup, but it's still energy. So it stays, so when you're bringing in antiques or vintage clothes, you want to wash them really good. If you are in an emotional situation or somebody where you have a toxic tie to gives you something, you either want to get rid of it or you really want to cleanse it, okay? And you want to clean to remove stagnant energy as well, because it just gets stored. Like all these old emotional thoughts will get stored in a place. Physical ways that really help empaths and are important. Empaths, a lot of times we neglect ourselves. We get joy and love out of helping others. And a lot of times that's where we get our power too, because we feel like we're knowledgeable or helpful or needed, okay? And then we'll neglect ourselves and neglect our health, which I do all of that. This is a huge thing for me. That's part of the reason I bring it up a lot, because it's something I have to remember. But we need the physical ways, like the practical, physical, divine masculine ways that we protect our energy. One, boundaries. You have to know yourself and know what you truly want. And if you get caught in these cycles of trying to manifest something and you're being treated bad and you feel like, no, just smile, everything's going to be fine. No, you've got to set a boundary. It doesn't mean it's going to affect your manifestation negatively. It means self-love, that you're protecting yourself, that you know what you're worth, and things are going to rise to meet you that are meant to meet you, okay? It's not trying to control anyone. It's literally, this is what feels good to me. This is the kind of relationship I want. This is how I want to feel in my job, in my career. Some of that stuff, yes, of course, sometimes it's us, we have to face it or understand that we can be content in any circumstances, but you need to set boundaries to protect your energy. If somebody is really toxic and draining, it doesn't mean you don't love them if you can't talk to them all the time. Another thing is staying healthy, going for walks, taking your vitamins, really paying attention to what you're eating, okay? Be mindful of the movies, the music, the conversation that you watch, because it could be affecting your vibration long term. Sugar, low vibrational foods. I remember even way before I woke up, I went to KFC and I used to love this sandwich, but every time I ate it, I would be sad. And finally, it started to hit me. I just started thinking, these are sad chickens. And I've never been able to eat KFC again. Once I realized, that's what I was feeling, the pain of this animal when it was dying. And I'm not saying, don't eat meat, but pay attention if there's a low vibrational food. And for different people, it's different. It can be different things, and your body will also tell you what you need to be eating. So you can listen to that. And then lastly, and most importantly, mental, being able to observe, being able to accept. I've already talked about some of this. Setting your daily intention, releasing labels is huge. So often, we might get a label that helps us understand ourselves in a way. If we're finally diagnosed with depression or something and we realize, oh gosh, it's chemical, Well, if we start to identify with that label so much that we don't allow room for expansion, labels can really, really start to have an adverse effect on us. Look at your beliefs and why you keep putting energy on things that maybe aren't really helping you propel you forward, not keeping you protected, giving away your power. When you're starting to feel a lot of negative emotions, why is it resonating with you? Really look at yourself. What is your belief? Why is someone else's opinion or energy affecting you so much? It could be as simple as the belief that you don't believe you can transmute it. Could be the belief that it's all your energy. It could be the belief that you deserve it. It could be the belief that other people are assholes and, don't like you. So really look at that belief and make sure you assign a really look at those beliefs and change them. They don't have to stay the same. You can always put a positive spin on it. Don't overgive or overfix, okay? Equal energy exchanges. It works in two ways. You need to be getting back what you put out, and you also need to be giving back what you take. Okay, so when someone's like either like sown a lot into your life energetically, whether it's financially or however, give back to that person. You want, and if someone just keeps taking and keeps taking and keeps taking, take a break. You can't protect your energy if you are constantly giving out. Another thing you can do is also make sure the back of your chakras are open. We'll work on this because you want universal energy flowing through you. And this happens actually when you're coming from higher vibrations, because when we are in lower vibrations, we are giving to get. And that actually, it doesn't matter how loving or how wise it is, when we're giving to get, we're not really giving from love, we are giving to take something. Be authentic. And this doesn't mean being happy all the time. It means really being authentic. It's okay to feel what you feel. It's okay to be unsure about things. It's okay to try things and fail. It's okay. Like, one of the biggest things in order to be able to come from neutrality is to be authentically you, okay? Because anytime you're kind of going against the flow and trying to be something that you're not, there's always resistance, and then more negative energy is going to resonate with you. Please don't tell me this just died. Please, please, please. Be in the moment. It did. Well, what's awesome is it died on like the last one of that page. So, if we have time during this course, I will go into more ways that we can actually transmute energy. I have a video that I already made with like 100 ways. It's kind of too long of a video, but maybe I'll just post that at some point. But that is a great way to start protecting. I'm going to upload this one, and then I will do the one about the thoughts. And this one is really important, I think. So hopefully you guys will watch that, and then I'll pull a few cards too. Okay, bye.